Well, hello and welcome to the BMW Sports Car Club National Capital Chapter. This is round number 8 from Road Atlanta, and we're just about 30 seconds from the end of qualifying here with Darren Treakle at the top of the chart. Provisional poll right now. We do have fast laps will count though, so we've got Chris Hill, champion and winner from last week in P2, Steve Ficacci P3, Brian Kennedy P4, Aspen Belvin P5, Dean Tulane P6, Colin Kortanek P7, Harry Duncan P8, Barry Buchanan P9, Scott Kim P10. It looks like we're going into the night here tonight. Should be fun. Getting everything set up as we get this set up for you guys here tonight. As always, let me know who you're following out there. Let me know who you want to see on the cameras. And it looks like we're coming to our end of qualifying. One more car than last week. But top drivers are here. Darren Treakle's going to be on the provisional poll. Let's bring that up, bring up the grid here. Darren Treakle taking that pole position, followed by Chris Hill, Steve Ficacci, Brian Kennedy, Aspen Belvin, so I kind of just went through this, but Dean Tulane, Colin Kortanek, Perry Duncan, Barry Buchanan, Scott Kim, Peter Yerksa, Steven Tenney, and rounding out the field will be a no qualifier in Matthew Stover. Robert Benson also in here as well. So it looks like, yeah, we're going to get 14 cars starting for a 40-minute race here. And we've run this particular track. This is a favorite of many of the drivers out here. We've run it just about every season, it seems like. So this is Road Atlanta, one of the favorite sports car tracks. So that's why all these guys are, you know, sports car guys. That's why they're running these. And we're about to get this race going here. Should have a relatively short pace lap. I wouldn't want to be one of these drivers going into the dark here tonight, though. There is a blind section in turn 1 through to turn 4, chicane, and it's blind enough in complete daylight, so it's even more of an issue. It looks like we're going to have a full pace lap here. Porsche pace car. Darren Treakle, Steve Ficacci waiting to grid up. Every moment of time that the fuel is burnt here, you know, removes fuel from these drivers' cars' gas tank, and that is time in the pits. So some drivers opt to wait to grid. Darren Treakle looks like he's waiting to grid. This turn 1 section, turn 2 section is a very exciting point, so we're going to keep an eye on that. While we have this pace lap, I guess let's go ahead and talk about our sponsors here. Let me pull up my ad copy here. So we've got SEO Mike, Beltway Brewing Company on this slide. So SEO Mike specializes in organic search engine optimization, and they've been doing it since 1997. So over those past 24 years, they've worked with over 4,000 websites in a wide variety of industries to achieve strong ranking in search engines, leading to growth in traffic, sales, and revenue. So that's kind of stuff you want. Every company's going to want. That is SEO Mike. We can see the name on there. You can go to SEOmike.com is what you want to be on. And then we've got Beltway Brewing Company. So Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and they probably represent the DMV. And you can check out their unique, handcrafted lineup of IPAs, lager, sour stouts, and even seltzers. And from Peruvian Brothers, they have flights and empanadas now available over in the tap room. We should get these guys having a monitor showing these races on the screen. Sten Cellier not here tonight, though. But for all your Beltway needs, head on over to beltwaybrewco.com. You can also check them out on social media at Beltway Brewing Company. And they're on the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And of course, we've got Treakle Insurance, kind of our original sponsor here. Treakle Insurance, independent insurance agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance. And they've teamed up with Hagerty Insurance to provide collector car coverage, as well as race car and track day coverage. Visit their website, treakleinsurance.com. You can check out what regions of the country they will provide for you. But they have a few different states over there, kind of around Virginia, that they'll cover. Grid still working tonight. It's going to be a good one. Classic sports car track. This is the National Capital Chapter BMW Sports Car Club of America. So you don't have to be a member of that car club to join this league. You just can check them out. Search that BMW NCC CCA on the iRacing leagues, and you can join up with them as we are about to get our green flag, not the checker flag quite yet. 40 seconds. Darren Treakle pops out to the lead. He's got Steve Ficacci right on his bumper. Into turn one they go. A little bit of contact between Hill. Belvin off as well. Hill through the grass. Up to the front. Treakle gets through that chicane. That's when Belvin had an issue, but he's back on track. Chris Hill makes it back on track as well in 6th position. Let me bring up that ticker there. A little bit of a train behind Dean Tulane. Back up to the front. Ficacci in P2, Brian Kennedy P3. Protanic up to P4. Oh, did we have... Hill had another issue back there. Not being the easiest race for him. Let's get a quick replay of what happened there. Obviously has championship implications. Chris Hill had... Oh, he just goes off. That is turn 7 through the grass. And we have Perry Duncan also spin back there. Robert Benson passing Hill. So everything going pear-shaped for Chris Hill tonight. But that's going to be an exciting... exciting to watch him come through the field, as he no doubt will. At the front of the field, let's go on board with Ficacci here. Let's wait till the end of the lap here as Kennedy Kortanek looking inside into turn 6. Not going to happen. Out of this final section of corners, we'll go on board with Ficacci, and we will do a run-through of a lap here at Road America. We're projecting about 29, 30 laps here tonight in that 40-minute race that we have here. So on board. Let's do something else, though. Let's go on board. Maybe let's try this camera angle. So coming up to a really fast turn 1. It's almost flat out in a high downforce car. These cars a little bit heavier. Not quite gonna get through there without some braking. Turn 2 and 3, you can see it's pretty blind over these crests of these hills here, downhill, really fast through the S's. This is all ready to turn 5 onto the curbs here. Gotta be careful on those curbs. Down to turn 6, one of the good passing points. Really fast corner, turning to the right, and then hard on the brakes into turn 7, setting up for the longest straightaway that we have. This little kink is considered turn 8. One of these questionable numbering of corner numbers on this track. As we have another kink on the straightaway here to the right, and that is turn 9. Ficacci's got a good run on Treakle ahead. Hard on the brakes. Best passing point on the track. This chicane. 10A, 10B. Over the crest of that hill is turn 11 and 12. And that is 12 corners, and that is a lap here at Road Atlanta. So 12 corners. We can do a vote on whether those are really corners or not. Over the crest of this hill here once again. Colin Kortanek right on Kennedy still. Let's check out Hill working on Robert Benson in that Falcon Tire BMW there. Oh, we've got Stephen Tenney off. This is where there really aren't going to be really good passing points. You get into these sections of the track. Hill here is going to lose a lot of time, as I also see a pass. Scott Kim and Barry Buchanan in the 7th position. And Hill's going to make it through, getting around Robert Benson there, and he's going to set his sights ahead to Scott Kim and Barry Buchanan. Let's go with a view from Scott Kim's car back. You can see how much ground Chris Hill is making in that braking zone. Oh, Hill's really coming. Hear that traction control turn on a moment there. And Hill's gonna make that move happen in turn 1. Kind of the inevitable there from our championship driver there. As he sets his sights on Barry there. Gets a little nervous when you got a pro level driver behind you. Chris Hill will make it work on Barry there into turn 6. As he starts coming through the field here. We're starting to spread out a little bit here. Already heading back up to the front of the field. Is Ficacci, and he dropped back about a second, but 3/4 of a second. Really, what you're doing here, it is so difficult to pass in these cars, and you're just waiting for a mistake from that driver, trying to force that driver into mistake here. Dean Tulane in that 5th spot. Not quite sure, he's got a little bit of an issue. I don't know if that's a graphic problem on my end. It looks like there's a slight issue on that hood of that car, but... So Yerxa is about 3 seconds ahead of Hill back here, and Hill's going to be eating into that lead. Barry coming under attack from Scott Kim now. into that chicane. Hard braking, they go. Aspen Belvin having a tough race here. Let's see if we can get any interesting stuff here. Like, we might be able to go back to that start and see what happened there. While things are starting to spread out just a little bit, I'm going to change over to the interval timer. There's a battle for up the lead. Also had that Scott Kim battle. I want to switch there first. Yep, okay. Trying to look up my... Let's see what happened here. This is the very beginning of the race. Looking at Aspen Belvin is what we're going to be doing. Get some issues in turn one. Let's see what happens here. And the number 3 Intimidator delivery. Oh, he just hard into that barrier. Keeps it going though. But that's certainly not what you want to happen. Back to live pictures. We're going to go on board with Hill here as he's working on Yerksa now. And he's made it happen into turn 6 several times already tonight, and he's going to make it happen one more time as we see Yerksa in that rear view camera there on the dash of Hill's car. So interesting statistic for you guys about the Race First channel. Apparently, and I didn't even know it, we went past our 100th broadcast on the channel yesterday with our broadcast over in the Schaefer's IndyCar Series. So that was good to happen. Obviously got a lot of help, so that haven't all been me during this past year since we started the channel. It's really been exactly about a year since we started. Heading up to the front, Ficacci is about a half a second from the leader of Darren Treakle. Darren is coming up to lap traffic. That is Perry Duncan, I believe. Let's see. It's either that or it's Aspen Belvin. No, it's Perry. Let's see our leaders there lurking in the background. Get a good view of Perry Duncan's car. And he's going to opt to stay out of the way. Very gentlemanly thing to do there. Doesn't want to get involved with this battle here. As we are under 30 minutes, we started a 40-minute race here, under 30 minutes now. Treakle in that Treakle Insurance, Hagerty Insurance. I believe he's got Beltway Brewing Company on the side of that car as well. And that livery is based on his real life car that he drives in a CCA competition, I believe. Has not won a race this season. Has come close. And he's gonna have to hold off Ficacci if he's gonna get a win here tonight. We don't want to jinx him. Don't want to do the commentator's curse on him. Ficacci is right there. So now, also, Hill's about 8 seconds behind Dean Tooling, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Really close battle between Robert Benson and Stephen Tenney as well here. We'll keep an eye on that one. Also between Stover and Bokaner. Brian Kennedy, kind of on his own, and we say that. Actually, no, he's not. He's dropped back a little bit, and that is Colin Kortanek right there. For a moment, earlier when I was looking at the intervals, he had a gap between, kind of in the middle, and now had some kind of issue, and Colin Kortanek has caught up to him. They all will know that they really need to go, because Chris Hill will be coming. Competitive lap times by everybody here, though, tonight. Minute 17, minute 16. Currently, Bikachi has the best lap at the front of the field. Or, sorry, in second place. At a minute 16.159. But even the leaders are running minute 17 laps. Chris Hill's running minute 17 laps. Aspen Belvin, he did actually stop for some repairs, I think, from that first issue that he had, but he's caught up to the back of the field here. Really tough to make a pass into this chicane here. Oh, and he gets a nice tap from Matthew Stover there. Stover backs off a little bit. No, not intentional by any means, I'm sure. A little mistake there by Belvin, and Tenney Stover is going to get by him. A little bit of nose damage for Belvin there as well. I think this is a new livery for Focacci. He obviously used to run the black livery. I don't recall. I don't know if this is the same one we saw last week or not. Looks like Steve's trying to play some games on Darren there. I'm blinking his lights a little bit. Telling him, I'm here. Don't forget about me. Trying to force Darren into some kind of mistake or something. Kortanek here. Just trying to force Brian Kennedy into some kind of mistake up here. The easiest way to pass somebody is to force them into a mistake. It's a lot more difficult to try to get side by side with them, especially when these lap times are so even. Kennedy's last lap was his fastest lap of the race, and actually so was Kortanek's. And they're pretty much really close time-wise to the leaders up there. As they're also really close to Hill's times back in 6th position. Dean Tulane will be coming under pressure in the next couple laps from Chris Hill, so we'll switch away and look at that. We're going to see Chris Hill just reel in Dean up here. You can hear that stability control, that traction control working its magic. Oh, and Dean looks like he had a little bit of an issue there. And Chris Hill's gonna make it work on the outside down the straightaway into an inside move through the chicane here. And he's going to take over the 5th spot. Recovery drive. Looking back, Stover and Bocaner battling here. Saw some front tire lockup as we hit the 20-minute point in this race. We are halfway through this one already. Up at the front of the field, Darren Treakle's actually pulling out a lead just slightly, 1.3 seconds up there at the front. Stover battling with Bocaner here. And Stover's going to try through the grass. That's not going to work. He returns to the track, and Belvin is there to add to this chaos here. Not sure if Stover is going to have a slowdown or anything, because he certainly looked like he straight lined the chicane back there. And Belvin's going to try to make a move. We've got Darren Treakle hitting the pit lane. This is halfway through, stopping for fuel. Brian Kennedy also on the pit lane. Kind of a long stop for Darren there. But with that said, Brian Kennedy also equal time on that. So Ficacci's going to end up leading a lap here at least. If not, he might stay out here even longer. Other than Barry, who will keep an eye on anybody as Ficacci hits the pit lane. Tricky pit entry here. Oh, everybody's in the pit lane. So we're going to keep an eye on how Treakle comes out. But if anybody else is supporting anybody out there, we'd love to cover them on the camera. Barry is hitting the pit lane as well. Chris Hill, Ficacci in the pit. Portanic coming down for service as well. Hill in for service. Dean Tulane in for service. So everybody's going to be done with their pit. We want to have a look at Treakle, how he was our leader at the start of the pit stops. How is he going to come out compared to Ficacci? Ficacci is coming out here. This could be the battle. He's jumped him, Ficacci has. They've got a slower car ahead of them. He gets out of the way. Whoa! We've got contact. taking out Treakle, but Treakle still good to go, it looks like. He's stuck in the gravel there. Really tricky place for cars there to go side by side. I believe the other car was Barry, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's go back and see if that... It was a really tough situation for everybody to be part of there, though, but I think it was. Yeah. I mean, Barry was getting out of the way there, but the track really tightens up quick, and not much you can do there. So that's kind of what we're waiting for here. Fikachi in the lead. Mistake from Treakle. And actually, Cortanic has jumped Kennedy in this round of pit stops as well. With 16 minutes left in this race, this is an opportunity for Hill to get back on that podium. Treakle is 12 seconds back after that off. Don't really see too much damage on his car or anything out here. Robert Benson still has yet to pit here, as Cortanic is looking to lap him. Kennedy about a second behind here. Ooh, a little bit of a rough curb exit of that corner there for Cortanic. It's going to give Brian here a little bit better exit here. So we had a blinker in the background. Internet connection issues. 15 minutes left in this race. This is the best battle on the track. Going on board with Brian Kennedy once again. Nice shiny chrome livery from Brian. Coming up the lap traffic ahead, that could play a key element to this battle here. Brian really using all that curb there. They are through that lap traffic. No issue there. Looking back, Peter Yerxa is the driver setting up for the 7th place wild card interview here tonight. We'll see how that works out. He's got about 20 seconds to 6th spot, and he's got a safety net of about 7 seconds back to Scott Kim. Now Scott will be driving as hard as he can to get up to the 7th spot and get that interview. Robert Benson is on the pit lane. Still best battle on track is Kennedy and Cortanic. Another good one, Perry Duncan and Barry Buchanan there. Battle for the 12th spot. About 0.3 of a second between the drivers. On board from Perry Duncan. Looks like Barry is driving away from Perry up there, though. I have to imagine that Brian really wants to get this podium interview, so he's going to be pushing really hard to get around Cortanic. But these drivers, I believe, are teammates. Well, I mean, everybody's kind of in the same chat here, so they know each other. They've been running this series for a year now, if not longer. Brian Kennedy right on that bumper of Cortanic here. We're estimating about 10 laps to go from here. Maybe a little bit less than that, though. Maybe more like 9 laps. It is entirely an estimate. A little bit different lines through that section for Cortanic and Kennedy. Scott Kim had an issue here. Let's see if we can figure out what happened there. As he dropped back a couple spots, letting Matthew Stover and Tenney and Belvin get ahead of him. Not sure what happened there. We are really spread out for battles for the position anyway right now. We see some cars close to one another, but there are lapped cars and lead lap cars. Scott Kim looks like he's heading down to the pit lane. This isn't going to be good for him. Oh, Scott Kim hadn't actually pit yet, so that's what it is. Getting his scheduled service out here. Oh, and Kennedy has got around Cortanic. Let's see if we can figure out where this happened. Yeah, so let's get a replay here. Plenty of time for replays tonight. Oh, Cortanic gets it out of shape through turn 7, and that's going to put Brian on that podium position. And that is going to put Cortanic under pressure from Chris Hill, only about 2 seconds back. And Brian up there in third is going to hope that Cortanic really fights hard back here and holds him off for a little while so that Brian up here can build a cushion. Looking at any other battles on the track, it is this battle with Hill and Cortanic. This is the one that is up there right now. See that blue car of Cortanic ahead? That is for position. And I have to imagine that Hill's kind of been driving with a little bit of anger from that first lap issues that he had. Kind of 2 separate issues there. When that happens to a driver, it can do one of 2 things. It can make them drive more poorly, or it can make them drive more focused. 7 minutes left in the race here. Not going to be completely dark by the end of this one, but it was nice to see into the sunset here tonight from Road Atlanta. That last lap for Kennedy was a little scruffy up there. Because that lead for Kennedy, that podium position is about 2.5 seconds. It was 3.5 seconds, and it's coming down ever so slightly. Darren Treakle, so... Oh, and Kortanek gonna hold off and locking up his brakes, rear brakes, is Colin Kortanek here. Let's get a look at that, what just happened there. So that looked like a classic rear brake lockup here. I don't think there was any contact there. Let's have a look here. No contact. You're gonna see the rear brakes. You can see it really slow down. That was a rear brake lockup, and that just sends the car around. And that made it really easy for Chris Hill to get around there. I think that Hill had an issue here, though, too. Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he missed that. Let's have a look here. More slow motion here. Hitting those cones. And that's going to give, it's going to make Kennedy up there on that podium position. A little bit of a drift show here from Chris Hill. He does get into the tire barrier just ever so slightly. Oh, and he's even going to hit the concrete too, for good measure. But he keeps it going. Back to live pictures. That was all the replay. Brian Kennedy, like we were saying, P3. Matthew Stover and Buchanan there have been battling here. As we're about 4 minutes left from the end of the race here. Oh, somebody's going through the grass there. That was Stover, wasn't it? Stover's used this line to good effect here today. Look at this. This is some good car control here. Yeehaw. Through the grass at Road Atlanta. You don't want to get too out there. I think he's locked up on the brakes there. And then he makes it back on track. Hopping those curbs. Man on a mission out here. Trying to get that spot from Barry. And never give up. I can see Stover, SEO Mike, Dean Tulane, he's letting him go. He's on the lead lap. Scott Kim coming into the picture as well. We're saying about 2.5 minutes left in this one. Oh, we've got a bunch of cars here. Barry lets Dean go. Dean comes under pressure from, oh, and Stover's going to make it happen. He's going to follow Dean through. Scott Kim also thinking about that particular move, but not going to be quite there. This is the closest battle on the track, this battle for 11th through 13th. Scott Kim, or Barry Buchanan is going to try to make this work into the chicane, and I think he's going to have it work there. Going to repass Stover for that 11th spot. These three cars here, I think we're going to have some contact between now and the end of this race. With that said, it's not really close enough to be a battle, but Darren Treakle's been laying down some hot laps, and he's brought that lead of Fikachi. It's a little bit too late to do anything, but it's 7.5 seconds. It was up to like 12 seconds at one point. And Stover looking on the inside of Barry there. Not going to happen. These three cars are for position. These are all points-paying positions here tonight. Everybody's going to score some points. I think Barry gets a good exit out of that corner in turn 7. Going on board on the fender of Scott Kim. He's going to think about going inside of Stover. Oh, and Barry overshoots just slightly in the chicane. That's going to bring them, all three of them together here. Stover's car struggling for a grip. Final lap here. Oh, and Stover is going to make that work. He keeps it off the grass this time. Oh, a little bit of contact between Kim and Buchanan. They all keep it going, though. Fikachi has won the race. Darren Treakle is going to finish second. Brian Kennedy, still working through the chicane back here, is going to get that podium position. Nice camera angle here. Chris Hill's going to have that recovery drive and finish 4th. And this battle for 11th. Kind of spread out a little bit at this point. There's Brian Kennedy. Let's see if we can get a replay here. There we go. That's what we were looking for. And we'll get our final from Scott Kim here, adding to the chaos in turn 1. Not as big as some weeks there, Scott. We're gonna have to work on that one from Road Atlanta, aren't we? Well, that is it for us tonight. Fikachi wins, Darren Treakle second. Let's see, we've got Yerxa here. I'll be right back. We'll get our interviews going here. All right, let's get this going. Let's see if we can get Peter up here. We had some... Hey, Peter, this is Matt up in the booth. Got a copy? We do not have a copy yet, but he had some technical difficulties a couple weeks ago when he was also in the 7th position. We wanted to give him an interview But we'll give him a moment to get everything together here. I don't know if he hears us or not. We do not hear him. I'm not seeing him light up either.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
I got it working this week, Pat.
There you go. So, Peter, you are the 7th place position, and you got kind of gypped a couple weeks ago from your interview, and you had I don't remember exactly where that was, but you also had a 7th place. But tell me about your race, tell me about your season, and how this is going for you.
Well, my race was pretty lonely, really. It was pretty good at the beginning, and then a bunch of guys went out in front of me, and then I was kind of all by myself the rest of the time. At the very end, I thought Aspen was going to catch me, but something must have happened when the leaders went by him because he lost some time there.
Well, sometimes the best race is when you are by yourself. It helps you maintain a position. You don't have to. You're not getting spun out by anybody. You're not getting forced into a mistake or anything like that. But yeah, good run here tonight. You had a good run a couple weeks ago, and obviously some technical difficulties. Couldn't get the interview, but. Hey, any shout outs, any thank yous, sponsors, anything like that you want to give any thanks to?
Well, I'd just like to say hi to shout out to all the sponsors that make this thing happen and to you for covering it. It's one of the most fun leagues that I've ever been in, and I've really been enjoying it.
Sounds good. Hey, quick question before you go, though. Is this livery that you run, your paint, is this like a custom one for you, or is this one you just found over on Trading Paints or something?
No, I did my own paint.
Okay, cool. Well, you want to tell us anything about it, or
No, it's inspired by Looney Tunes. It's the Razzmatazz machine.
That's what I thought I saw on the side of it. Well, very cool. And so let me double check where we going next week. We are going to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, so up in Montreal. Any thoughts going there? I don't know if we've driven that before in this league.
I think you'll see me planted on the wall of fame there.
Well, that is it. It is a good place to be. So we'll see you then. Take care till then, Peter. Good talking to you.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Yep. All right, well, we will get Pikachu up here. Hey, Steve, this is Matt up in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Matt. Yeah, I'm here.
Sounds good. Well, Darren, I don't want to say Darren made it easy for you, but he had some contact with a lapped car, and unfortunate for him. But he was really catching you. Like he was. I want to say, I don't know how far it was back for you, but on the relative. But I swear he was like 12 seconds back at one point, and and he brought it down to 7 seconds or 6.5 seconds. So he was. I think, you get that red mist after something like that happens to you. And I think he was putting on in some qualifying laps there.
Surprised to, not to run up front, but in qualifying, I felt like those guys were so fast. I mean, my optimal wasn't nearly as fast as theirs was. So I kind of was just saying, hey, I'm going to probably end up following a lot of this race. And, I had contact with Chris in turn one. Mm-hmm. And then I followed Darren for a bit, and while I felt faster than him, you often feel faster when you're the car drafting.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was probably 6 or 7 laps that, I just drove as hard as I could, and then I had one real good run, and it kind of surprised me, and I fell back in line. But if it wasn't for that, I really didn't think I was faster than him. But you never know when the roles are reversed. So, when we came up to the pit stop, I wasn't confident that I'd be able to do anything there, and it just kind of worked out. My thought was at first to pit first and try to go fast, and then I saw he went in, and I said, you know what? I'm going to run out of gas on pit lane, and I did. I had to start the car in the pit. But if I could get in front of him, even though I'll be going slow when I exit the pit and with turn 2 or whatever that is, I said, I'll be in front of him.
Yeah.
If it works.
He's gonna have to
Unfortunately, it worked, and then he had his incident.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate it robbed us from that battle, but you did end up getting ahead of him somehow, some way through that cycle of pits. It was kind of surprising to see that.
I made a big mistake because when he pulled in, all of a sudden there was lappers everywhere.
Yeah.
So there were lappers everywhere. I had to pit with them, And I was like, you know what? These guys might pull out of the pits when I'm pulling in. And one car pulled out, but it was far enough in front of me that it didn't impede me. And then, as we saw the exit, there were, I think, 2 or 3 cars in front of me, but not slowing me down, but would have caused something for us, if me and Darren had to drive through, race through that.
Yeah, just through that whole S's section, it's really tough with any lappers. There's not much they can do. There's not much you can do other than just kind of run it through a line, get to turn 5, and then sort it out at that point. And you're also running up to turn 2. It's pretty blind over that crest of the hill, so it's really
so like
tough.
last 10 laps, I just kind of tiptoed through there. I'm like, let's not make any stupid mistakes. Where the first 30 laps, I used every curb, every inch of it, and I was like, I don't know, everything seems sketchy at this point. I'm happy that I was able to get into the race. I had some issues when I logged in. Nothing was calibrated. None of my buttons were working, and I was panicked. And I had to actually qualifying, restarted my machine, trying to get everything to work. But fortunately, everything kind of came together. Just normal computer stuff.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Was it in this Discord or some other Discord? I was reading like somebody was saying, "Oh, I had a Windows update," like right before all of this.
Probably what it was, and like I touched Chris and I wanted to say something to him, but none of my buttons were working. Fortunately, I was able to put gas in with the mouse before the race started, and was able to kind of get through that.
I've been having an issue myself in iRacing that my microphone has been unbinding as well. I've had that a couple times where I go push to talk and nothing comes up, and I go into my devices and it says like it's not checked anymore. I don't know what goes on, but yeah, something there. But anyway, great run here tonight. You give it every week because we interview you just about
same
every
list.
Week,
I got my wife. I got Rick's Flicks. I got the Vintage Racers Group. I've got we've got SEO Mike, and we've got Treakle Insurance, Beltway Brewery, and Hagerty Insurance.
Sounds good. Well, next week we're going. I don't think we've. I'm sure you've been there, but I don't think we've raced there before. Is Circuit Gilles Villeneuve? So in Montreal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, high speed circuit. You know what? I like to let the car do the work down the straightaway. So I tend to do well at circuits like that. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be good. Peter was telling me how he'll insert himself into the champions wall over there, but everybody, it's a good place to be, I suppose. But you'll be up at the front, I'm sure. So we'll see you there.
I hope so.
All right, take care, Steve. All right, we'll get Darren. Hey, Darren, this is Matt up in the booth. Got a copy? Matt. Hey, tell me about your race. I know you led at the beginning, and I was telling Steve there that you really brought down that lead that he had. I think you were driving with some red mist in your eyes after that little incident there, and you did bring that lead down to about 6 seconds after. I think it was like 12 seconds at one point in time. So, either way, good, recovery drive there.
It was. I honestly, first of all, I was a little surprised that I was on pole. I think that's probably my first pole. I don't know. It feels like my first pole, but so I was pleased with that, and obviously I got out to a jump on the start, so I was happy with that. And of course, I had Steve behind me, chasing me down. No, I mean it was good. We were just kind of running good, consistent laps, and I don't know that he was any quicker than I was. Really, I mean, I think it's kind of the same old thing where I might be quicker some places, he might be quicker some places, He did jump me on the pit stop. I think he took just a tad bit less fuel than I did. But
I'm not sure how he did it, but yeah, it's just somehow.
Yeah, he's like a master on these pit stops. I don't know what he does, but
he said that he was actually running out of fuel coming to his pit too. So I don't know like how he did that, because I've had that where you're like sputtering as you've come to your pit and it sets you back a bit. But
right. Yeah. So and then unfortunately I had to come in together with Barry. I don't know that he had I talked to him afterwards. He didn't have the relative one. I guess he saw Steve, but he didn't know that I was right there. And he came back over once Steve went by, and I was there, and that took care of that. So
It's
What
that section is just really gets really narrow and is tough. Yeah.
it is, and so and then I just came back on. Luckily, the car didn't seem to have any damage, and then I just tried to put my head down, and I was actually trying to go for the fast lap, but I kept running into guys, and they were letting me by, which I appreciate, but it was always in a spot like under braking, and they were where I needed to be,
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I usually get the fast lap at least, and it's like, if I'm not going to win, let me at least try to get the pole and the fast lap, but it didn't work out. So, but it was good. It was fun.
Like you said, it was a good. You got the pole, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, that little incident did rob us from a great battle to the finish. But either way, you got second place, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was going to be a good battle. I think, I've raced with Steve quite a bit, and we both can battle each other and not really have any issues, So it would have been good fun and made for a good show, but it is what it is. So
yeah, it happens. It's called
Yeah.
racing, and that's what happens.
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
obviously we ask you just about every week, it sounds like, but obviously shout out sponsors, that kind of stuff, and thoughts going to we're going to Montreal next week, Circuit Chill Villeneuve.
Well, it's kind of a bummer that I'm not going to be here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I actually like that track. I bought it for another league that I run in, and the VRG league, and I bought it and ran it in that. And I was like, man, this is pretty cool. I like this track.
It is good. I agree.
And but unfortunately, I'm missing the race because fortunately I'm going to be on vacation. So iRacing or vacation. Hey,
yeah, I mean, you can do iRacing
if you want.
week. You can do iRacing every week. Vacation only comes every once in a while. So yeah, I understand.
Right. I guess if I was really dedicated, I'd take me, a laptop and a wheel or something. But
yeah,
I'm not.
So I've got a team over in another league, and I had a driver. He was down in South Carolina, and he took his whole rig, not rig, but he took a temporary sort of rig he did. And then because he's running like, it wasn't hotel internet, but like in some Airbnb internet, he dropped out, had bad internet connection. So he took all this stuff down there and then still disconnected from the race.
Still disconnected, yeah.
So, don't set yourself up for that sort of thing.
No, I'm not. I mean, I enjoy doing this, and especially with the BMW Club guys. But I'm not willing to drag a bunch of stuff on my vacation to do it. Maybe I'll take my laptop and sit down and watch the live stream or something like that.
Yeah, that's what Scott did, I think, when he was on
Yeah,
vacation.
yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I hope you have a good vacation, and
thanks, Matt.
And we'll see you back in a couple weeks or 3 weeks or whenever it is.
Sounds good. Real quick, I didn't give a shout out to Treakle Insurance Agency, Hagerty Motorsports, Sten over there at Beltway Brewery, and SEO Mike. You obviously for doing the live stream, Scott for setting this up. I think that's it. I don't think I forgot anybody. So I wasn't on the podium last week.
That's right. Well, you're back here this week, but it was a good run, and we'll see you back in a couple weeks.
Sounds good, Matt. Thank you.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye.
Well, this should be interesting because Brian is streaming his race. It's not going to let me talk to him, though. Let's see. Yeah, so he needs to stop his streaming because he's streaming to everybody here, and I can't move him until he does. Let's see here. I don't want to rob Brian of his interview here. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to type him a message. Let's see here. We'll at least wait it out a little bit longer here. But yeah, Brian had a really good run. Let's go through some of the results until we get that. As we can see, we've got like double results on the screen. But Steve Fugacci, P1, Darren Treakle, P2, Brian Kennedy, P3, Chris Hill, P4, Colin Kortanek, P5, Dean Tulane, P6, Peter Yerksa, P7, Aspen Belvin, P8, Stephen Tenney, P9, Perry Duncan, P10, Barry Buchanan, P11, Scott Kim, Matthew Stover, Robert Benson. Let's see here. All right, we're getting this sorted out here. There we go, Brian.
Howdy.
So, yeah, that was a new one for me too, because so whatever when somebody's streaming, I can't move them. So
I had no idea that was
yeah.
a limitation. Yeah.
So now we all know. So but you got on the podium here tonight, and great run. You want to tell me about it?
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible race against Colin. I mean, we were so evenly matched that even after he got me in the pits, you know, I was following him, which was a swap. You know, he beat me in the pits, and we were still same lap time. So, yeah, a lot of fun. And then, you know, Colin had a little mistake there, allowed me to get back ahead. And actually, a lot of people had mistakes that allowed me to get on the podium, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you can never take it away from yourself, or you know, when you get that podium. A great run here tonight. You were also, I want to say, a couple weeks back. I don't recall exactly where, but you were in that podium position. I think maybe it was like Steve or Darren or something. Maybe got you right at the end. Something like that happened. I think they had an issue and you were primed for that. But
yeah, there was. Yeah, I forget which. It was like 3 weeks ago, I think, and yeah, I was in third. Well, it was like halfway through the race. It wasn't like it was the final lap I got past, but you know, I was sitting in third for a while and just couldn't finish the game. So
yeah, it's tough to get it to the end, and especially with this field when we've got, you know, Steve and Darren and Chris, who are all like lightning fast.
Stefan too. Like, yeah, those four are just all in the, I think, you know, alien or alien territory, right? They're really fun to watch their battles, that's for sure. And I'll try to get up there someday. But
yeah, it's you know, it takes a lot of work, and you know what it is, and because I work on it myself, but it's like it's all in the braking zone is what I've found by just like researching it and, you know, working on it. It's all in the braking zone, so just work on your braking, and that's how it might happen over time. But yeah,
we're gonna buy the fancy pedals that Chris has. I know he's got some nice pedals.
Yeah, he's probably well, you probably have like load cell or something, don't you?
Yeah, I got the load cell. Least,
okay, well, as long as you have that, you're probably
I mean, a big difference. The instant I installed those, that was a huge difference.
Yeah, it does take a little bit of getting used to when you're switching over from the old potentiometer brakes, but yeah, great run here tonight. Hey, any shout outs to anybody, sponsors, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The sponsors of the league, you know, thanks to Darren and Treakle Insurance and Hagerty, Stan at Beltway, our new sponsor, you know, SEO Mike, and thanks to Scott for putting on the league, right?
Yep.
That's yeah, and thanks to you for covering. So.
Yeah, no problem. And of course, thanks, you know, you are showing up just about almost every week over in the Formula Indy series as well. So it's good seeing you there.
Yeah, definitely.
And we ran our kind of truck race thing that we did as well.
Yes, that was interesting. It was a blast, though. That's a lot of
fun. They're just there for fun. So, but yeah, great run here tonight, Brian. So next week we're going to Montreal. I don't recall us running that track before in this league. It is a really good track. Yeah. So, any thoughts going there in these cars?
Nope. I'm not a huge fan of the track. I feel like it's a million right-left chicanes. Yeah. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to getting better at it. I guess that's I need more time there. So.
Well, get practicing. We'll see you back next week for this.
All right. See you then, Matt.
Sounds good. Take care.
You too.
All right. Well, that is it for us tonight. This is BMW Car Club of American National Capital Chapter. And we'll head out with shout out from our sponsors here. So let's get Hagerty Insurance, Treakle Insurance. So they've teamed up. Treakle Insurance teamed up with Hagerty Insurance there, and they provide auto, home, business, and life insurance coverage. And with that Hagerty Insurance, they provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. That's treakleinsurance.com. And of course, we've got SEO Mike on board now, and they've specialized in organic search engine optimization. They've been doing it since 1997, and over that last 24 years, they've worked with over 4,000 websites in a wide variety of industries to achieve strong search rankings, and that's led to growth in sales, or in traffic, sales, and revenue. And of course, Beltway Brewing Company, they've been on board for a while. They're located in Sterling, Virginia, represent the DMV, and they have unique lineup of IPAs, lager sour stouts, and even seltzers. And flights and empanadas by Peruvian Brothers are now available over in that tap room. You can check them out, beltwaybrewco.com. Follow them over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Beltway Brewco on social media. So that is it for us tonight. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, for Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. We'll be heading over the border to Canada. So thank you. Have a nice night.